And so this is what it looks like when you're walking up to it. The mission as you come up. How cool is that? Has this cool little thing here of water. And so this mission that was built in 1784 was actually built on December 4th, which is the feast of Santa Barbara, or Saint Barbara, whoever she is. And as I said before, this mission was built 4 times over. It first started off as a small cabin, and the Chumash Indians lived here, and they were hunters and gatherers. They didn't take and plant, but when the monks and the friars came here, they taught them agriculture, which was valuable, a valuable resource, as they were able to grow their food and not have to just be a society or a culture of just hunter-gatherers. As you can see, this is a very popular place. A lot of people come to this mission. It is called the Queen of Missions, and it was founded by a friar named Junipero or Serra. You know, it's in the memory of him, but I don't think he was actually the one who founded it. I think he was the one who came and rebuilt it. But you can see that the mission has twin towers, and it's famous for these twin towers, which actually was something they copied from a previous building in Europe. The surrounding homes here are $1 million or more, even though they are old. This is Santa Barbara, over there you can see that wall over there. Let's see if I can get it a little closer to you. That is actually not just a wall. That is the aqueduct that comes from 2 miles away, and the water would be brought from way up there 2 miles down to here, and on top of that aqueduct is a channel. So the water would flow down the top of that over there. It's the far wall, not the one by the street, with the one behind it. That is actually an aqueduct where the water would flow freely on top. Okay, let's get back down. Again, the twin towers, and this place was built. Let's go inside and see what's inside. I want to add that this is actually an active mission, an active church. There still is a lot of church activities that go on here. This thing was built in 1808. A stone used to hold the animal that was tied to it, I'm sure. Now this is what it looks like when you're walking up it. How cool is that? The halls of the old mission. How cool. What's amazing that this is that old. And it's still here. Even the floor? Cool. Look at this guy, he's pointing the way. This is the sacred garden. The inner quadrangle of the mission, Santa Barbara. The inner quadrangle is the oldest one here at the mission, and it's had many names over the years. It's been called the Padres Garden, the Patio Garden, the Monk's Garden, more recently the Sacred Garden. How cool is this? Even has a place for meditation. That is too cool. This is too cool. Brother Juniper. Obviously, this was not a selfie. So the tour goes to the left. Hey, we're going to the cemetery. This is too cool. Now, this has not been restored. This is still the way it was. Let me get a zoom in on this thing. You can see how even the plants are growing out of it. It's been here so long. Look how the sandstone is. Concrete in the middle, but the sandstone, which is native to this area. You can definitely tell the difference between the old and the new. And that's whitewashed with plaster. So that's probably adobe, and that's why they whitewashed it, or this is sandstone, and that's not. Stairs that lead to nowhere. Some obvious remodeling going on. How cool is this? Made, obviously, locally. Look at the wheels. The pin to hold the wheels on. There's a dolly with metal wheels, obviously, dating much to the shovel. This ox cart dates from the late 1800s. Look for the yokes for the oxen. In the wood, you can see where those have been added on with a metal in there for seismic support. And here are grinding stones. How cool is that? Here's a child that lived a little over 2 years, and here's what it looked. Building is cool. This is the old wall. And right now we're in the cemetery, where the clergy, Native Americans, and residents are buried. I'm thinking that these small things are young people. It's quiet here, and there's a sort of reverent hush, as it is in most graveyards. There's this huge tree which inside the cemetery. Obviously, people have carved their names on it over the years. Keep off tree. Here's Francisco Cata Nacio, who died in 1851. But even today, there are still burying people in this graveyard today, as we saw earlier. Look at the walls. There's a porthole, and here's the back of one of the towers. Look at how they built this. Look at the window that's at an angle, and how thick the walls are. (1859). This is an interesting sight. Skulls and crossbones. There we go in. So this is the sanctuary, obviously. Look at how cool that is. The architecture is cool. Back here in the garden, the tour continues. The little man pointing the way. Some of the artifacts of the mission. 1797, the bell. Sandstone work. A list of the carpenters who did it. This bell weighs 223 pounds. It's more than few you can touch.
Bananas, loquats, sapotes, and all those are what the Franciscans brought. Okay? So this is considered a mother orchard to the grapevines. So if any of the missions need anything from us, we take cuttings with them and then decided to do that. Here we have a list of the garden plants that were brought here by the Franciscans as either escapings. So all of this was not native to this area. And when the Franciscans brought it, they brought it because it was what they knew from their
Native American. The Native Americans made a bunch of these for the walls, the Chumash for the walls and for the ceilings. You can see a depiction of them painting and some of their painting that they did. And this is where they used their dyes. They got their colors from, and they kept them in abalone shells, which is significant since this is a seaside. Remember, the harbor came in years and years and years later. This original kiln in the background, as you can see from the side over there. They used a coiling method, baskets, lamps, candle making, blacksmith anvil, axe, hardware, saddle. Almost looks like a side saddle. The tanning process. Wood crafts. Pulleys, chairs. A plane, a hammer, a saw. Wooden pegs for nails. More tools. Spurs. A spade, more spurs have been found, knife, this is Pie's possession, this is probably a bridle, branding irons, This is a picture of Rafael Solares in 1878, somewhere around there. He was a chief of the Chumash community. In June 1925, there was an earthquake of 6.8 magnitude. It killed 13 people and caused $8 million in damage. Reconstruction began on May 4th, 1926. It was completed on August 27th, 1927. And the architecture, how cool is this? As really famous people who've been here: Babe Ruth, Bob Musso, the Von Trapp family, the people who inspired the Sound of Music video, Queen Elizabeth. As we're walking down the outer walkway, the benches are, and obviously this piece of wood that was carved and used for something. See how it's notched out. How cool is this? The architecture and the view out. We saw the picture of this wash basin. As you can see, It was made by the Chumash Indians and was used to wash clothes. A little scary on that face there. It looks more like a mountain lion. How cool is this? Do my laundry. This is the garden area, and there's a garden down there. I'm not sure if we can get down there because it might be after hours for this, but let's see. I mean, you can see some of the plants and flowers from this side. And it has this hedge around it. It's just kind of cool. A good garden to walk through for reflection. Obviously, the colors. So no matter what you think about mission life and the relationship between the Native Americans and the friars and the Spanish, you're going to have to admire both parties, especially the missionaries or the Franciscan friars or Spanish who came over here to live in the New World without any of the modern conveniences of Spain. They were brave to do this. I mean, very brave. And this is their handiwork. Great of a trip was that? That was awesome. Hey, if you liked the trip, hit that like button. And if you want to be informed of our next trips, smash that subscribe button and leave a comment. And we really would appreciate it if you shared the video. Well, until that next great adventure, God bless you guys. Drive safe.